Hello everyone and welcome to my 16-gallon all-in-one aquarium. At the moment, this is less of an aquarium and more of an experiment for reasons that are quite obvious upon the eye. Dinos have taken over the tank. So this tank's been running for a little over a year now, about a year and 2 months, and for quite a bit of time, the water was clean, but I couldn't grow corals. Basically, like most people in the hobby, there's a lot of learning going on. So I tried some corals here and there, none of which really seemed to take off. And after losing quite a few of them, I decided to hold off and sort of let my tank stabilize a little bit. The guidance that I had read was about a year is where everything stabilizes, and as you can see, this is not the case. We think the culprit of this may have been we had some good friends of ours take care of the tank over the vacation in the summertime, and when we came back, things were not ideal. Not to say it was their fault. We could have done better training and move on from there. Regardless, everything in the aquarium world should be reversible. It just takes a little bit of time and patience. With that being said, and the purpose of today's video is I've just picked up this new algae scrubber. And what I've found on the internet is there's been sort of a lack of growth progression videos. So as you can see, there's a lot of dino here, and this is sort of the idea. I've been using GFO and water changes to sort of help clear up my water quality, and while the phosphates have plummeted, this increased instability has actually caused an algae explosion. Prior to this, the water was actually quite clean and clear, but we weren't seeing any coral growth for the one test coral that I do have in here, which you may be able to find, but I'm not going to point it out because even the test coral is not doing great. Regardless, we tested the phosphates and things were not doing so well. In the effort to stabilize the water and to avoid using a skimmer, I've picked up this algae scrubber, which looks comically large. I'll show you quickly here what this looks like compared to the rest of the tank. It's comically large for a 16-gallon. However, I'm not opposed to trying something that's going to help the tank. I know a Chaeto reactor, Chaeto refugium in the back here would probably do the job just as well. But the idea is that I can try this and you don't have to. It's not me saying that this is the right or the wrong way. This is me experimenting on behalf of everyone else. As I mentioned, or may have mentioned, this is the ATS-100. The 50 is the smallest one. However, I got this guy used, and this is the one that we are working with at the moment. So this has been running for 2 days now in this exact setup nonstop. The light's been running for 24 hours. There's a light on the front and on the back. The setup is the in-tank pump is in the second to the right chamber here in my all-in-one system, pumping into here, which drains out straight out the bottom in this version 2 update. If you want to use it in terms of Clearwater, who's the former maker of this, and it pumps straight back down actually through mechanical filtration again. That way, in case there's any algae that falls out, it gets caught by that filtration. There's this very easy to remove piece here in the middle. I call it the bridge. It's not the technical name. Being careful to avoid splashing directly on the light itself. I believe this light is IP68 rated, which means it's splash proof but not waterproof. You can see a couple dark spots here. I did buy this used and this mesh wasn't completely clean. I don't personally recall seeing those spots there when I started. I'll show both sides. But this is what we have now. And like I said, this is the idea behind the video, is to show growth updates when you're first starting this. Even though this was used, it was dry, there was no growth here. And I want to show the updates both on the algae scrubber, on a tank the size, and also what it does to the water stability. So at the end of this video, I'll post some of my water test results. So that's it for now. You can say goodbye to the fish, and more results will be posted in upcoming videos in this series of is an algae scrubber worth it, especially on a smaller tank like this, instead of going Chaeto.